Presidential harassment followed by ex-presidential harassment. Yes, he is out of power, but they can't quit this guy. You heard about the grand jury? They've convened a grand jury to look into Donald Trump, even after the two impeachments, the Mueller investigation. Prosecutor in Trump criminal probe convenes grand jury to hear evidence, weigh potential charges. This is harassment. This is a witch hunt. Sounds cliche, but that's what it is. He's been through so much. If they could find anything on him, they would have done it by now, right? Robert Mueller, these guys, Adam Schiff, there's nothing there, and that's what's driving them crazy. How about this? Here's evidence that they're deranged, going after his attorneys, searching their personal stuff, their personal property. It is ludicrous. It is unfair. It is un-American. Donald Trump actually made a huge mistake. He didn't follow through on this campaign promise. If he had, I don't think he'd be going through all this right now. Take a look.
If I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation, because there has never been so many lies, so much deception. There has never been anything like it.
There was evidence of potential criminality, and he would have been entitled to pursue that route. But people don't understand this about Donald Trump. He's not as ruthless as you think. He can be a very nice guy, forgiving with a soft heart. Right after he won the election, they asked him on 60 Minutes, are you going to do that? Are you going to say what you did? Are you going to investigate the Clintons?
You called her crooked Hillary, said you wanted to get in jail. Your people in your audiences kept saying, lock him up.
Yeah.
She did
some bad things. I mean, she
I
did
know,
some
but
bad
a
things.
special prosecutor?
I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to hurt them. They're good people. I don't want to hurt them.
But, Mr. President, they want to hurt you. And boy, are they trying. And they are kind of open about it. I'll give them that. They want to hurt you. They're releasing that the state attorney general probe is now a criminal probe, this phony grand jury. They're actually proud of it. You're going to hear now from, this is Letitia James. She is the sitting attorney general of New York State. She's in government, yet she speaks like this.
I say one name, Donald Trump. That should motivate you. Get off your vote.
Will you sue him for us?
Oh, we're going to definitely sue him. We're going to be a real pain in the He's going to know my name personally.
Running for Attorney General because I will never be afraid to challenge this illegitimate president when our fundamental rights are at stake.
Legal system where even the most powerful in the country cannot use a loophole to evade justice. We must do our job to ensure that the man currently occupying the Oval Office is held accountable to any and everything he has done.
All right, so she's not some guest on MSNBC. That is New York State's Attorney General. It's pretty something. With all this, by the way, they can't hurt President Trump. They haven't, at least politically. Sure, they can kick him off of big tech, but have you seen these poll numbers? 73% of the Republican Party wants him back. And they've actually committed. Next poll, if you will, 82% pledged to vote for Donald Trump. These are big numbers, and we've never seen anything like this. You know, for an ex-president, particularly a one-term president, that's it. You're done. You walk away. Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush. You think they had any political clout when they left office? No, it doesn't work that way. So they want to damage President Trump because he does have clout, he does have power, and he keeps him up at night. He really does. This guy could come back. Now, a lot of people think Joe Biden is not going to make it for the entire term. Something's going to happen. He's going to step down. I don't know, but is Joe Biden going to be president in 2024? We'll see. But that means Kamala Harris is probably the next nominee. And who wins, Donald Trump or Kamala Harris?
Okay. How do you...
I think Donald Trump wins. So what are you going to see? And they know that too, deep down. I think you're going to see a lot more of this censorship, cancel culture, election fortifying. and also a very unhealthy and dishonest conversation about race.
Ceremonies nationwide as America remembers George Floyd, marking a year of protest, pain, and hope.
George Floyd lived a life as an ordinary black man, but in his passing, he's been able to do something that most have not. He's been able to transcend the barriers that stand between us, and he's been able to elevate important conversations.
It was all totally over the top and ridiculous. George Floyd should not have died. That video horrified me as well. But should he be deified? Should we just overlook everything else about him, his criminal past? Oh, and this key point, if he had not resisted arrest, he would be alive. That is a totally fair opinion. In fact, it's not an opinion, it's fact. If he had not resisted, this wouldn't have happened. If the police had not accommodated him and allowed him out of the police car because he didn't want to be in there, none of this would have happened. But be careful with that one, folks, because if you say it, you could be fired, canceled, who knows?
If George Floyd had, at the beginning, when they got him out of the car and went to put him in the police car, if he had just sidled into the car and slid in there and let them put his legs in, he would be alive today, and you know that's true.
I do know that's true, Miss Gardner. Fired for that. And when they fire her, guess what? That has a chilling effect on everybody in Fairbanks, Alaska, and across the country. If you say the wrong thing about George Floyd, you could lose your job. This is totally ludicrous. This is right out of cancel culture in China and the Chinese Cultural Revolution. This is ludicrous stuff. But it's taking hold, and Democrats need this stuff. They need to stay with the censorship, election fortifying, and also a phony conversation about race to intimidate people who don't agree with them. It's times like this I miss Donald Trump, but I'm also still inspired by him. This is his July 4th speech last year at Mount Rushmore.
There is a new far-left fascism that demands absolute allegiance. If you do not speak its language, perform its rituals, recite its mantras, and follow its commandments, then you will be censored, banished, blacklisted, persecuted, and punished. It's not going to happen to us.
So how are we not going to let it happen to us? Because it would have been easier with him as president. Well, we got some advice, some good advice from one of his cabinet secretaries, former Dr. Ben Carson. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago. Listen to this.
There's really only one really good solution that I can see, and it's called courage. You know, if you sit in the corner and say nothing and hope no one calls you a racist, you're not going to get very far. The only thing necessary for evil to succeed is for good men to do nothing.
Love it. Inspiring, right?
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.